I end up, like, if you didn't stop me, I would be like, yeah, we're out here for Corvettes, and that's what we're doing.
Do it.
Yeah, I mean, I am excited. It's hard not to yell, so I'm sorry if your audio is blown out. I mean, we're out here. Nick Thomas. I'm out here bringing our new knuckle kit to Aaron. He's been bugging me nonstop to get out here to Texas to bring this out and get it on his car and to explain why we're doing it. So why a Corvette, why a knuckle kit, why it needs angle. Why it needs angle? Because a rad car can't do rad things without good angle, and the Corvette lacks that from the factory. It's a race-bred car from the factory. The only thing it lacks is angle. So we devised a kit, essentially just modifying a stock knuckle by changing our pickup point. We CNC these down, and we've essentially just cut this off and moved it on in and flattened this out, and we are also producing a tie rod end piece that threads directly onto the stock tie rod, and it's just slides right in. Essentially, why try to turn all these S chassis cars into Corvettes when you can just buy a Corvette and add an angle kit to it for less than you'd actually build the car for? So that's what we set out to do, and that's what we're accomplishing right now. So we're doing this in multiple stages. Our first stage is kind of like where the S chassis started off. We're taking a factory Corvette knuckle, we're modifying it, and that's our first step. Our second step is we're doing a multi-piece knuckle and also a full CNC lower control arm, but that will be released later. We're still working on that right now. So why we're doing this is that the Corvette, the factory angle, we haven't got an exact measurement on what that is, but that will come later on, and you'll see the before and the after of what this is after we install it. And then we'll have some track time and hopefully make a rad car do rad things.
And why did you do it this way?
Why we did it that way is so that we can utilize this heim joint and it will thread on to the factory tie rod. So you have to, essentially not rip off the boot, take your factory inner off, and you can just bolt this on and go. So most people nowadays, like you've been telling me nonstop with this development, that you just want something you can buy, bolt on, and go to the track. And that's essentially what we're offering.
Okay. How much is this piece?
Well, it's all one kit.
Okay. How much is the kit?
So the kit right now, if you utilize our link or tag us in this and shoot us a screenshot of the video, we're offering 10% off on our knuckle kit right now. And if you, we're not advertising price because we're trying to do a pre-sale essentially. We have these in stock ready to go, but we haven't established price because we're trying to figure out what the need and want for everything is.
Okay.
So, I mean, you're not going to be spending over $1,000 on a full kit, and a full kit's going to come with a knuckle, tie rod end, and wheel spacer, and that's what gets you started. So that leads to one of your questions earlier, which was offset for wheels. And the offset for the wheels, it's going to really dictate, I guess, essentially, if you're an S chassis guy going to a Corvette, you can do one of two things. You can either buy all new wheels, 5x120, or you can do what I've done and take all of my old S chassis stuff and do a 5x120 to 5x114 converter. And it's a 2-inch spacer. So your wheels are going to poke out a little bit, but nonetheless, you can either reuse all the wheels that you've already had, or you can buy new wheels. And I believe that like a 30 mil offset on an 18x9 or 18x10 will work up front around the 235, 245 tire. That's what we're running right now. And again, we're still in the development of this kit, so we haven't tried a ton of different variations of it yet.
Yeah, I'm not wide body like yours, so I can't do that.
Mine's not even put together, so mine doesn't do it either.
Do they get a knuckle with it, or do they need to send you?
Yes, they do. There is the option to buy just the knuckles, or there's the option to buy knuckles and send yours back and get some money back. So we offer an option there. So if you did want to take it back to stock form completely, you can, but this still retains factory handling characteristics. The only thing that you'll see is just like with any other car that you add angle to, you're essentially the steering's going to be a little quicker up at higher speed. So a lot more response.
You never noticed that though.
Right. It's a drift car anyway.
Cool. When can they get them if they order them right now?
Within a week.
Okay, so you're saying you're pre-selling them right now, but you're ready to ship these things.
We are. We're ready to ship them right now. It's more or less just generating interest into what we've had, and we've got a run right now. So I think we've got 10 sets in stock right now, and I just want to make sure that this is going to go, and then if it does, then we'll be in full production.
Cool. Well, I am super excited. The Corvette, I've been drifting it around and having a little bit of fun. It really needs angle. It has everything but angle, and the seat is garbage, and the steering wheel is garbage, and the target top thing creaks all the time.
That's typical.
And the traction control was terrible, and the ABS was bad.
And the handbrake sucks.
And the handbrake's bad, and the idle was bad.
Well, you got a dyno, so you should have taken care of that.
I know.
You already told us why Corvettes were cool.
Yeah.
And you showed them.
my tires aren't balanced. But other than all that,
who balances tires on a drift car?
I know, but it's bad. That's what I thought, and then that car is really susceptible to it.
Yeah, so one of the main reasons that we are swapping to Corvette platforms ourselves is essentially, it's essentially the American version of an S chassis, just better. The motor's better, the suspension's better, but it just has a lot of the same characteristics. The drivetrain's interchangeable between a C5 and C6. The cradles will swap over, the knuckles will swap over. What a lot of people don't understand is that all 4 knuckles on the Corvette at all four corners are the exact same. They're just placed different, and the pickup points for the tie rod on the back are different layout than it is in the front. So that's really the only difference there. But for a C6 or a C5, you can swap knuckle to knuckle, motor mount to motor mount, a C5 cradle into a C6. And then as far as body panels and things like that, you can, they're readily available. They're all over the place. And same thing with all the motor parts. If you fry a coil pack, if a water pump goes out, a power steering pump goes out, your alternator, anything like that, you're an AutoZone O'Reilly's or Advance away from getting back, on the track, on the road, whatever it be.
Cool. You just said tie rod in the back. Does it?
It's not essentially
the same thing.
It's essentially that, yeah.
Oh,
it's just like that in the back. It's the same pickup point. It's absolutely insane. And I know one of our friends here in Texas is actually developing a dual caliper kit that we're going to check out later on, and hopefully get with him to make that happen. But so far, we're running a hydraulic handbrake in line, and that works out phenomenally. It's not nearly the pain in the ass like it was with the S chassis. So with the Corvette brakes and running a hydro in line, it just works out awesome.
Cool.
Hopefully we're going to do rad stuff with this car this weekend.
Together a Corvette too.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to doing it if Aaron will get us in the garage.
Yep, go.
Go now. Get out of here.
All right, this time I'm going to press record.
That's totally fine. All right, so we're about to put the angle kit on the car, and just to show you what we're getting ready to remove for this, hopefully the lighting's okay, but to take this stock knuckle off, we're just pulling off the brake caliper bracket, which is a bolt here, and then both our ball joints, the upper and then lower, and then pulling the tie rod off as well. And then we will take the stock tie rod end off the inner tie rod and replace that with our heim joints and our knuckles, which are somewhere over there.
I think I have it right. I have it. Sorry. Maybe if you want like a creep or anything, so you get all like solid and steep. I hate that stuff.
Oh, the sawdust.
Pretty difficult.
So, So next I have to remove the caliper, the brakes, the rotor. We're going to remove the tie rod and the outer. So already loosened it, prepped it, pop it off, loosen that side. Take the outer out. Believe it or not, these tie rods will fit an S chassis. Just so y'all know. The outside, the outer part. So you can put like these same spacers on an S chassis. And this is what we're gonna replace it with. This will replace that on that tie rod. Nice Heim joint right there. What's up? Oh no. So Aaron had a broken knuckle that whole entire time. The next step is we're going to remove the spindle. We're going to remove these bolts right here. They are a T55. What is it? These are so weird.
Bunch of brakes, it's good.
I mean, I'll adjust the drums for him because all I use is my stock one, and I just use the drums and adjusted them, and it is tight.
I think that's probably plenty.
Yeah, I'll probably grab a torque wrench.
There is a vise over there.
Ooh.
On the table.
Adam, did you see his old knuckle?
Holy shit, I didn't. It failed.
That's the one that was in the car and he was driving around in.
No, not
Typical Aaron.
You didn't see that?
That's
Buy a salvage one, light damage, and I gotta essentially build like a full comp ready car for under 12 grand, caged, angled, and everything.
here. Check it out. I showed this to Aaron. I'm
Hey, are
like,
the ISR arms over there?
so when I replaced my quarter because I blew out a tire, it just
pops out.
it just pops out, and I just put another one in there. Literally, that's all I did. It's super easy.
Slide in here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's what I like. Enjoy about them. Yeah. So the sensor, I just put it towards the back, yeah, and I pull it out, and I beat that straight. Look at that. I've encountered this before. I mean, you don't have to since you have this one. I didn't even notice. Yeah, I'll have to bend it back once I'm done. Just like that. Whoa. I was like, what is that? So what I'm doing is I'm putting the spindle back in. So it just bolts right in with some T55 bolts. And all I gotta do is put it back in. Just like that, look at this. Boom. Drops right in. Boom. Just like that. Super easy, super simple. It's pretty neat. This, we'll go over here. Hey Nick, do you have your steering centered over there? You don't? Okay. You're good, you're good. I was just trying to figure it out. You got the other kingpin? There it is. Alright, let me see here. Nope. Oh, with the steering wheel? I'm gonna put the steering wheel straight over here, okay? That's straight right there. What's it look like over? Almost done. There we go. Super simple.
This is how I end up with way too much footage. 3 cameras going on the same thing for like an hour. It's just a knuckle install.
You can mix and put them all in the same frame.
Woo!
Put all the angles in the same frame. Ooh. Does this side look straight to you, Nick? Let me see here. Oh yeah. That is straight. So right now we're adding the spacers, just because when we went full lock out, it was rubbing
On the rear of the control arm, and
control
full
arm.
lock on steering angle in, we're rubbing on the sway bar with the tire. So we're going to see what these will give us clearance wise.
Yep. And we're also going to remove that sway bar, see what that gives us. I'm going to start on that sway bar. It's not poking too bad. Right now, give me a second. We are hitting on the back side of the fender liner. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can remove that back piece, but I mean, it's gonna rub against the ECU. Keep on going. Oh, we're not even touching the control, the sway bar. Hold on. Let me see here. Go all the way the other. Come on, bring it in. Keep on going all the way. Oh yeah, we clear the sway bar. Yeah. We're gonna have to tow him out a little bit. Okay. So with putting the BC coilovers up front and the angle kit, we obviously get more angle with the tire. So the tire comes all the way to the back and starts hitting the plastic pieces that are in the back and the front. So this was the piece that was up front. Went in here, the tire was hitting. You can see right here where the tire was hitting, and could possibly rip this off and rip off the front bumper,
Right.
fender. This was in the back.
So you don't have to cut anything. You just have to pull the little pop rivets out.
Yep, you pull those out,
And that gives us a clearance, and then maybe zip tie some of the harness out of the way.
Well, yeah, you can actually cut this too.
Yeah.
If you took the time, and then the harness that's inside. What I did to mine is I just cut some of the stuff that was holding it in over here, and just extended it as much as I could, and then pulled it towards the rear. Doing that gives you more clearance with the harness and less opportunity for it to rub against the tire when you're going really fast. And,
Right on.
True over here cut us a piece of metal just so we can have the fender down here, so it's floppy. Ah!
All right. Now let's try it one more time. All right. So we finally got the angle kit on, fitted, no rubbing, finally got ride height close to where it needs to be. Now tomorrow, hydro handbrake or hydro brake, rear coilovers, and then we're gonna go for testing and hopefully get some sleep. Because we drank 5-hour energies, monsters, and other things, and we're still dragging ass. So, more.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much to Nick and Marco from vetnuts.net. I want to thank those guys. They make the knuckles, they came out, they installed everything, they were amazing. This project wouldn't have gotten done if they hadn't made those knuckles, so thank you very much. I never would have honestly even bought a Corvette. So please go check them out there. Also, I have 2 other videos or 3 other videos up, so we're not actually going to show all the rest of the assembly or all the rest of testing, so I'll just provide some links here. Please click those if you want. Thank you. Goodbye.